When the sound of rotor blades thunder through the sky and missiles streak from hidden positions, there's a good chance the AH-64 Apache is at work. Fast, deadly, and virtually unmatched in capability, the Apache is the definitive attack helicopter, engineered for dominance across the most unforgiving battlefields on Earth. From desert sands to dense jungles, the Apache has flown into the fiercest firestorms, delivering precision and power where it's needed most. This is the full story of the AH-64 Apache, the ultimate guardian in the sky. The Apache's roots go back to the 1970s during the Cold War. At the time, the U.S. Army needed more than just a gunship. They needed an attack platform that could destroy Soviet tanks in a European land war, fly day or night, in any weather, and survive intense anti-aircraft fire. The Army's Advanced Attack Helicopter AH program kicked off in 1972. After intense competition, Hughes Helicopter's AH-64 won the contract in 1976, beating out Bell's AH-63. The Apache was formally adopted in 1982 as the AH-64A. Built from the ground up for survivability and lethality, this was no mere upgrade, it was a revolution in aerial combat. Over time, Hughes Helicopters was acquired by McDonnell Douglas and later Boeing, which continues to manufacture the Apache to this day. Over 2,400 Apaches have been produced and are currently flown by over a dozen militaries worldwide. So what makes the Apache so feared by enemies and so trusted by the troops it supports? Start with its distinctive design, a tandem cockpit with a pilot in the rear and a co-pilot gunner in the front. This configuration allows for clear lines of sight and optimized crew coordination. The AH-64 carries a lethal payload, including a 30mm M230 chain gun capable of firing up to 625 rounds per minute, aimed simply by turning the gunner's head. Up to 16 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles specifically designed to defeat heavy armor. Hydra 70 rocket pods for area suppression and close air support. It's a nightmare for enemy armor and infantry alike. Then there's the sensor suite, the Target Acquisition and Designation Site, TADS, and Pilot Night Vision Sensor systems allow the Apache to detect and engage targets in complete darkness or bad weather. On the AH-64D and E variants, the longbow radar system adds a powerful edge. Mounted above the rotor, this fire control radar allows the Apache to detect, classify, and prioritize up to 128 targets without even exposing itself over terrain. But the Apache is more than just firepower, it's a survivor. The airframe is designed to withstand 23mm anti-aircraft hits. The crew compartments are armored, the fuel tanks are self-sealing, and the aircraft features redundant flight systems to limp home even after serious damage. Combat debut and wartime legacy. The Apache's first taste of combat came in 1989 during Operation Just Cause in Panama, but it was the 1991 Gulf War that cemented its legendary status. On the opening night of Operation Desert Storm, 8 Apache helicopters, supported by Special Operations Forces, destroyed Iraqi early warning radar sites. This mission opened a corridor for coalition aircraft to begin the air war. From there, Apaches tore through Iraqi armored formations. Hundreds of tanks and vehicles were destroyed, often before Iraqi forces could even fire a shot. The Apache flew over 27,000 hours during Desert Storm with an operational readiness rate over 90%. It earned the nickname Tanker's Worst Nightmare. Then came Iraq and Afghanistan. In urban environments, mountainous terrain, and open deserts, the Apache adapted. In Fallujah, Baghdad, Tora Bora, and Operation Anaconda, Apaches proved invaluable for close air support and precision strikes. Even in conditions where fixed-wing aircraft couldn't respond in time, Apaches were there, hovering, waiting, striking. The Apache has been part of countless famous engagements, but some stand out. In 2003, during the Battle of Karbala, a group of Apaches attempted a deep strike into Republican Guard territory. The mission faced intense fire, and one Apache was shot down, but it marked a shift in how helicopters were employed in contested airspace, leading to more cautious and coordinated tactics going forward. In Afghanistan, Apaches routinely flew life-saving missions, providing cover for medevac helicopters, rescuing pinned-down troops, and launching strikes in support of NATO forces across some of the world's harshest terrain. The British Army's Apaches were even launched from the decks of Royal Navy ships during operations in Libya, demonstrating the aircraft's versatility as a naval strike platform. Global service. The Apache isn't just a symbol of American air power, it's a global workhorse. Nations like Israel, India, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the Netherlands, and the UK operate their own Apaches. Each country has used them in unique environments and conflicts. Israeli Apaches have been used extensively in counter-terrorism operations and border security. Indian Apaches were deployed in the high-altitude region of Ladakh, providing an edge in standoffs with Chinese forces. British Apaches played a crucial role in Afghanistan, flying over 50,000 hours in support of coalition troops. Modern upgrades and the AH-64 Guardian. The Apache is constantly evolving. The newest variant, the AH-64 Guardian, brings the helicopter into the digital age. Upgraded engines for increased power and lift. Advanced communications and networking systems. The ability to control UAVs from the cockpit, extending the Apache's eyes and strike range. Upgraded sensors and fire control systems for even more precise engagements. It can communicate and coordinate across platforms, linking with ground forces, drones, and command centers for real-time situational awareness. Even as the U.S. Army invests in next-generation vertical lift platforms, the Apache isn't fading into the sunset. It's expected to remain a critical part of the Army's aviation branch until at least 2050. That would make it one of the longest-serving aircraft in military history, over 7 decades of service and counting. The AH-64 Apache isn't just a helicopter, it's a legend, a flying fortress, a protector in the sky. For the soldiers on the ground, the roar of its rotors means salvation. For the enemy, it means destruction. In an ever-changing world of warfare, one thing remains constant: the Apache, eyes locked on target, weapons hot, always ready. Because in the darkest moments, the deadliest skies, and the fiercest battles, there's one name you can count on: Apache.